We are inside the Wind Creek Event Center here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. King's Promotions on a Friday night. Welcome to our preliminary bouts. First 2 bouts on YouTube. Then at 8 p.m. Eastern, please switch over to DAZN for a terrific 5-bout card. I'm Mark Abrams. That's the 2-division world champion, Paulie Malignaggi. Boxing commentator extraordinaire, Claudia Trejos, joins us tonight. We have a great night of action. In our main event, Yuri Cedeno takes on Ulises Tovar, Paulie.
You know, Cedeno really one of those guys who's, when you look at him as a prospect, you say, okay, this is one to watch. This is one I want to pay attention to, not just on the night that I watch him, but he typically leaves you with the desire to want to see him again and again and again over in his career. So we'll see his progression tonight against Tovar.
And Claudia, Ulises Tovar, he's a guy very confident. He basically said that, yeah, he's 10-0, but he hasn't fought anyone like me yet.
Exactly, and he's actually relying on that last win that came by way of knockout. And not only that, the pedigree that he has coming from Mexico. Most of his fights have been in Mexico against Mexican highly touted fighters. So this is his opportunity to showcase all the hard work. He's taken the long road to this position.
And everyone, that's what they always say. He hasn't fought anybody like me. I feel like that's a commonly used rebuttal when you're approached with a good record in front of you.
Well, that's our main event. That'll be live on DAZN beginning at 8 p.m. We have 2 terrific prelim bouts. Ibraheim Robinson, will a 7-1 fighter out of Baltimore, and he will kick off the action. And we got the number 2 118-pound fighter in the world, Brittany Sims, will be in action also in our prelim bouts.
Yeah, man, looking forward to some good, exciting action.
We have a big night of boxing, and King's Promotions doing it once again, Claudia.
Exactly, coming all the way from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, where the fans know boxing. They eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we're in for a great evening. And 2 bouts with the ladies that I assure you, don't blink, guys, because this might go fast.
And talking to the promoters today, expecting a full house here in Bethlehem.
All right, the crowds come out here, man.
Very enthusiastic crowd, and like we said, we have 7 big bouts, a swing bout, so we may have 8 big fights for everyone tonight between here and on DAZN beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I think we are almost ready for our opening bout. So let's throw up to our ring announcer, Miss Margaret Cresta Griffin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to King's Promotions Ring Wars. We're so excited to bring you an action-packed night here tonight at the Wind Creek Casino in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Before we get started, we want to thank our sponsors tonight. Nike Boxing, Wind Creek Casino, DAZN Boxing, Crest Flooring, Legacy Stone Group, and Adams Tree Service. These bouts are sponsored and approved and sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. Our commissioner at ringside is Rudy Battle, our executive director, Ed Kunkel, and our officials for judges tonight are Steve Weisfeld, Dewey LaRosa, and Nick Commenti. Our referees are Eric Daly and Harvey Dock. Our timekeeper is Ralph Nardone, and our physician at ringside is Dr. Lopez. All right, we're headed into our first fight of the night. Welcoming to the ring, please welcome Rommell Toran.
This is 28-year-old Rommell Toran, 2-4-1, 2 knockouts. Coming from the Buckeye State of Ohio.
This was the last addition to our card. He's replacing Jonathan Godoy, who was supposed to be here all the way from Argentina. So I give him all the credit in the world for showing up, and he was ready. And not only that, he has a fight already scheduled for April. So he was perfect timing, in the right place, and ready to go.
So is he still fighting in April?
We don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Everything is possible.
He gets out of here unscathed and on his feet. Probably see him next month.
Yeah, he already has an opponent, John Vallejo.
Toran's in the ring.
Making his way to the ring, welcome Ibraheim, the new hitman, Robinson.
23-year-old Ibraheim Robinson, 7-1-1, 5 knockouts from the charmed city of Baltimore, Maryland. Under the Kings Promotion banner. Comes from a fighting family. Brother Muhammad is 8-1, is a 140-pounder.
Styling with that fur on the collar. Sometimes you got to look the part, Mark. You know, when you to feel the part, you got to look the part. You know, I always believe in that. I like this outfit.
I like the shorts.
I would add some tassels.
You always have the tassels.
I was the tail of the tape over here. 6-pound weight difference here with Toran and Robinson.
Claudia Trejos, for the first time, you want to take us behind the numbers here.
Yes, of course. There's a massive difference in height, 6'1" to 5'11". In weight, the advantage goes for Rommell Toran. 71 inches, reach 72.5. And the record, 2-4-1 for Rommell Toran, coming in last minute to take on this 7-1-1.
And to formally introduce our fighters tonight, let's throw up to Margaret Cresta-Griffin.
The following contest is scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Your referee in charge of the action inside the ring is Harvey Dock, and your judges scoring ringside are Nick Commenti, Steve Weisfeld, and Dewey LaRosa. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears the black and white trunks, weighing in at 147.6 pounds with a professional record of 2 victories, 4 defeats, 2 knockouts. Fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio, welcome Rommell Toran. His opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears the black and white trunks. He weighed in at 146.1 pounds. His professional record, 7 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Baltimore, Maryland, welcome Ibraheim, the new hitman, Robinson.
You received your instructions earlier. As a reminder, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch him up. Good luck.
We are ready for our first bout of the evening. Ibraheim Robinson, 7-1-1, 5 knockouts. He's in the black with the white fur. Rommell Toran, 2-4-1, 2 knockouts. He's in the black and white. Mark Abrams, Paulie Malignaggi, Claudia Trejos. And we are underway here at the Wind Creek Event Center in Bethlehem, PA. We see Toran coming out to southpaw.
It takes a couple of seconds to adjust to obviously a southpaw stance here. See how they close the gap. You got to watch the feet. Got to watch the head clashes. But let's see how Robinson adjusts to turn. Because Toran also seems like a bit of an awkward southpaw. A bit of a awkward head movement going on over here.
Paul, I'm sure you've been in the ring with guys like that. So, like you said, it takes a couple seconds to adjust, but when he's awkward on top of that, how difficult's that?
It can be, it can be a bit difficult, but at the same time, the best way to deal with an awkward fighter, in my opinion, was always to just stick to the fundamentals. Don't try to time them with anything extravagant, because you don't know how they're going to react to your traps that you're setting, because, hey, that's what makes them awkward.
Oh, nice.
Good right hand by Robinson.
And see that there. Nice, short, little crisp right hand. Nothing extra, not too much fat on the punch. Keep it nice and tight. That's basically what you want to do here if you're Robinson.
He's literally just measuring his distance, making sure he stays in the perimeter.
Yeah, exactly. Because Toran is, he's got he's trying to circle around, a bit of awkwardness to him. For Toran, I think he's got to try to eventually step in with that jab. He's trying to circle with that jab, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, good little hook there by Toran on the inside.
He's just taking way too long, Robinson.
Yeah. I would dare to say Toran might be a natural right-hander, Mark.
Well, I had him listed as an orthodox.
Yeah.
Toran came in with the left hand. He got countered by a straight right from Robinson. See, Toran doesn't, like you said, his stepping, he's stepping in and punching, very awkward in there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's in some ways he's trying to punch and also get out at the same time, and you've got to kind of organize that. You've got to punch then get out, because if you're trying to punch and get out at the same time, you're not going to get enough on your shots to get any respect.
With fighters like that, they don't do the same thing twice.
No. And that's why it's hard to time them. It makes them awkward. You see Robinson more set on his feet, but you know, right now he's another sharp right hand again. Speaking of
Beautiful right hand.
And like you said, Robinson, definitely the more schooled fighter. Over 90 amateur fights.
Yeah, and eventually you're going to start seeing if Robinson continues to be able to land that sharp right hand that way, because that's the second one he's landed this round. Eventually you're going to look for him to follow it up with a left hook or a little combination afterwards, because he's going to start getting comfortable landing that shot. For now, he's putting them together one shot at a time.
There's a good counter right that rocked Toran.
But he's staying right there.
Left hook from Robinson again. He ducks under, back to the jab.
And that was the combination, followed it.
He's a little disoriented, but he could take it, especially that sharp right hand. He took it on the right there on the crystal button, and he just stood still. He didn't lose his composure at all.
But he did buckle a little bit.
But he stayed.
Yeah.
The big right hand from Ibraheim Robinson punctuates the opening round.
And that was probably the best moment of the round for Robinson. Robinson had a couple of sharp right hands.
It was a beautiful.
As we see there on the ring, that was a good. He tried to double it up there, missed the second one, but I think eventually it did build up to this little combination that you see. A little bit of buckling on the legs, but he's like Claudia said, he kept his composure, and also the end of the round helped him out too.
Yes. I mean, literally said by the bell. But the truth of the matter is, though his legs were from underneath him, he didn't lose his composure. It wasn't like he went in panic mode, and then the bell went off. But somebody else would have just gone for the clinch.
And that's the thing, Mark. Now we're going to see if he's able to recover in that 1 minute. We'll see how Toran comes out. And also, I want to see if Robinson starts putting together more numbers in the second round.
Looked like one of those top of the head shots that kind of buckled him.
Yeah, sometimes the top of the head or tempo shots, even behind the ear, they can be a little bit tricky.
See Robinson again lands a counter right. See sticking to fundamentals, working behind the jab, Ibraheim Robinson. Good counter right again. I believe there's a cut somewhere. See Robinson lands a perfect left hook.
And that's what I'm saying. You see now he's starting to follow that right hand with the left hook. So he's starting to get a little more comfortable in that pocket. Starting to get a little bit of the timing of Toran. And he's starting to add a shot here, add a shot there to that right hand.
I was calling it that in the first round. He was just taking a little too long. There was no follow-up.
Yeah.
I guess he hurt us.
Yeah, now you know what it is, Claudia? I think it's also the awkwardness of Toran. He had to start getting the trajectory down on the awkwardness and on the movement of Toran. So I think, you know, in time that was his goal, and I think now you're starting to see some more numbers get put up there.
I see the blood coming out of Toran's nose.
It's on his shoulder.
Yeah, it's on his shoulder, but that's kind of a strange place to have a cut. So it's probably coming maybe I believe Claudia is right. Maybe it's leaking from the nose. Yeah, definitely from the side of the nose.
It's leaking from the nose, yeah.
Wow.
It
traveled, right?
Yeah, well, spit, snot, everything travels.
Counter right again from Robinson. He seemed to have found some type of rhythm now with Toran diving in. He's found a home for these counter right hands.
Yeah, you can see the pedigree in Robinson. He's going to be an even better fighter as the rounds progress in his career, 8 to 10 rounds. And you see he's patient. You know, you don't want to be too patient, but at the same time, he's patient, knows how to pick his shots. Because this is an awkward guy in front of him, and yet he's still finding the openings.
I like what you said about the patience. He's taking his time, picking his shots. Not only that, he's a welterweight, and he's 6'1".
Yeah.
He's a big
That's a
welterweight,
beautiful asset to have.
That's going to be a great advantage for him. Especially you can see he understands range. He knows how to step in and out of range.
He fights in his range.
Yeah.
How many fighters do we know that have beautiful long arms and they just fight short?
Yeah. You got to know who you are, and you got to know who you're not.
Yes.
In order to succeed in boxing.
Robinson continues to land these straight right hands, and that's what caused all the blood now as the round gets deeper and more blood from the nose of Toran. After losing his only fight, Robinson Majority decision to Renny Viamonte Mistora. Came back to win a 6-round unanimous decision over DeMarcus Layton last May 10th in Philadelphia. End of round 2 between Robinson and Toran.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's fought competitively, so I like the fact that he's making adjustments.
Yep.
Yes, this is a solid round, definitely.
Harvey Dock going into the corner and checking on Toran. Good hook there we see on that replay.
See the counter rights there. We begin at round 3 between Ibraheim Robinson and Rommell Toran. Robinson, we saw, trained by his father, Sean. Him and his brother got to know them a little bit over the last couple years. Good young men, good counter right again. Ibraheim works with people with disabilities down in the Baltimore area. Give him back.
See, Toran now came out right-handed this round. He's giving up on the southpaw stance.
Yeah, that's
he's back. Just to say that.
I was about to ask you think that's a byproduct of just getting caught with all these right hands?
I think so. I think also, you know, like Claudia said earlier, he got a fight scheduled April 12th. So going the distance is key in this fight. If he gets stopped, he might end up on suspension.
Especially when he's already got everything settled. I mean, we got opponent done. It's going to be Angelo Snow, who's 10-5-0. I mean, this is a busy man.
Yeah. Can't get stopped if you're going to be that busy.
It's automatic 30 days. There's another jab from Robinson. Good hard jab.
I love that jab.
Yeah.
It's a nice stiff stick right in front, like a nice little piston. I wish I could see more of it, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think if Toran goes into the right-handed stance, it becomes easier for Robinson to throw that jab and use that jab a little more. Sometimes against a southpaw with the mirror image in front of you with the lead hand blocking you, sometimes I don't believe you should throw less jabs, but a lot of guys will throw less jabs against southpaws.
For whatever reason, Paulie, we don't see enough of these tall, rangy fighters use their jab. A lot of these guys just like to fight.
Yeah, but I think it's more so Robinson seeing an awkward southpaw in front of him. Like I said, sometimes with a southpaw in front of you, it'll I'm not defending it. I still think you should use the jab, but I think a lot of guys will diminish their jab output when there's a southpaw in front of them and look for more right hands, which we've seen Robinson use some sharp right hands tonight.
I just like to say that when you're dancing with somebody that has no rhythm, it makes you look bad. Yeah. And this is the same exact case.
Guilty feet have no rhythm.
Thank you.
Good counter left and a straight right again from Robinson.
I show my age.
Yes, you did.
George Michael. Mark, you know I had the George Michael reference, right?
George Michael.
That's way before his time.
George Michael?
Yes. You don't know that. You're too young.
Please. I'm your man.
Last Christmas.
There you go.
Ooh,
there's a
beautiful right
over the top.
Oh, yeah, that overhand right is nice and short. I like the speed. Yeah. It's like a nice little whip because it's so long.
Yeah,
hard right hand again.
Right hand. I want to start seeing Robinson start following these up again. You know, he's kind of gone away from that. He was starting to follow them up in round 2.
In the second round, yes.
Yeah. Now he's starting to go back to that one at a time. And once you see that you're comfortable landing and you see that you're not paying for throwing these shots, I think you do have to start adding some numbers to those shots.
And now he added that left.
Toran getting a little reckless in there. End of round 3. Three in the books. See some of the action from Ibraheim Robinson.
You see some of the counter moves, some of the combination punches. You see also when there's a counter right hand there by Robinson. You see when Robinson also, the first replay we saw, when you put numbers together, you know, you're not going to land every shot, but it gives you a higher percentage to land something in that combination because you're putting those punches together with short shots, crisp shots, and fast shots.
and he has the time and he has the space. He's just not capitalizing on that, because the one thing that I'm surprised about is the fact that he's not cutting into the space. He's not walking into the pocket, which would actually neutralize that long jab.
Begin the second half of our fight between Ibraheim Robinson and Rommell Toran. Robinson unofficially has won the first 3 rounds quite comfortably.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'd say the second one could have been a 10-8 because it was just full control by Robinson.
I think the only issue with this fight is, will Toran be able to fight on April 12th? Is he going to be able to go to distance this fight?
Oof.
Straight right hand again from Robinson.
He's got horrible intentions with that right, and he just keeps it cocked right here like a nice little piston. I like it that he, long arms usually need a lot of space, and they usually need to cock it all the way from the back.
Yeah, and generates power too. Generates that shot. I think that's why we've seen Toran's nose bloody from the early part of this fight, from the onset.
Just 23 years old, Robinson, and Claudia. A lot to like in a good young fighter, despite having 1 loss on his record.
Yeah, good judgment of range. Like I said, I think sometimes he could step on the gas a little bit more in some spots, but either way, I think the patience could also help him as when he starts fighting longer rounds.
Well, this is a 6-rounder, and perhaps this is basically him trying to not gas out, conserving his energy.
Sharp little counter shots there.
There's a little counter left hook, and now the mouth is starting to look like a mess from Rommell Toran.
Because that jab is going right into his face. The nose is already bleeding, so the next thing is his mouth.
See Robinson playing a little defense. Just missed with the right hand.
Yeah, what I could also like to see Robinson a little more, maybe some feints, because you got this awkward guy in front of you. Maybe make him make that false move off of one of your feints, so you can actually, cause him to pause for a second off the feint, and then pounce on him, Especially when you have the speed of Robinson, and you have a good jab like Robinson, your feints can be really effective if you know how to use them. I probably if there's one thing I'd like to see in Robinson, maybe better use of some feints in his style. Oh, good shot there.
There's a hard right hand that made Toran take a step back, and a left hook grazes the cheek of Toran. Robinson now winding up and looking for huge shots now. Shot in by Toran.
Wow. That left right into his face, and Toran just takes it. I got to give a lot of credit to this young man. Rommell Toran can take a punch, and he's still moving. I mean, we're 5 rounds in.
Face starting to turn into a mess, but like Claudia said, he's hanging in there. End of 4, scheduled for 6. See some of the work, mostly of Ibraheim Robinson.
Oh, he's putting in some power. He's sitting in those punches. Look at that pivot of his right leg.
Yeah.
Just that comes with all kinds of power, all the way from the foot. And it's Rommell Toran not taking a seat. Gary Young giving him very strict instructions. You can see how steadfast he is. I got to give a lot of credit to this young man's stamina.
It's the old adage, he's taking a licking and keep on ticking,
Yeah.
Round number 5. See Robinson trying to measure short with the right hand. Robinson being patient. Like you guys said, he's got the right hand cocked. He's just looking for half an opening, and he's going to unleash it.
Yeah, you also don't want to get into the habit of also looking for one shot here. So, like I said, you can use your feints here. There's other things you can do to control that tempo as well. Obviously, like I said last round, Robinson has the speed. He has the accuracy. Use some feints here because you're trying to basically get the trajectory of Rommell Toran, who's a little bit awkward. But again, if you feint in between all this, you may be able to freeze him, and then it may be easier to get that trajectory where you want it because you pull the trigger quick, you're already fast.
To what you said, he used exactly those elements in that second round, and he took that decisively.
Yeah.
Perhaps one of the most dominant rounds.
And then he started going back.
A level of comfort, perhaps.
Maybe, yeah.
Get another hard right hand from distance from Ibraheim Robinson.
Because I have yet to see any damage of Rommell on Ibraheim.
Rommell's even landed, honestly.
No, I have yet to see anything, like frank, solid.
Yeah, he's not really been hit.
Robinson back to the jab.
But he's gone the distance in the last 3 fights.
Yeah, and it's
losing one.
It's more of a temperament thing, I'd say. It's a bit more of his temperament. I think he could get some stoppages if his temperament was like a fight like this. He probably could get the stoppage if he had a more aggressive temperament to him.
You did say he had 90 amateur fights, which
Correct.
is not a long amateur career. But when we see fighters that have been around for 400, like Guillermo Rigondeaux, the Cuban-style boxing, that's what they become, just for points.
Yeah.
There's no, I'm going to go for the jugular type boxing.
We got one in our main event. Yuri Cedeno, 467 amateur fights.
Yeah, but those guys come in different methods, right? Depending on what part of the world they're from.
Yeah.
Some guys, Better be have also had a lot of amateur fights.
Vasily Lomachenko, he went, almost 500?
Yeah, it's true. Massive career.
Alexander Usyk, for God's sakes.
I think when you fight in 2 Olympic Games, you
Exactly.
probably had a lot of amateur fights.
Those 2 cycles, plus all the worlds, plus all the interim tournaments. I mean, it's a lot.
Counter rights. We close in on the end of round 5 in our opening bout of the evening. Ibraheim Robinson, Rommell Toran.
You know what? He's just looking for that big overhand right that wants to come down like a sledgehammer. That's what he's looking for.
See the corner of Robinson. World-renowned cutman Danny Davis.
Round 6, our last and final round.
Sixth and final round.
I want to see some action now. I want to see some decisiveness.
Go for the big finish.
Yes.
Close the show, so to speak.
Exactly. I mean, you're already 9 fights into your professional career, and he obviously doesn't need to be afraid because he's already controlled every single round. Now is the time to risk.
You want to start acting, not reacting.
Yes.
And that's not just about risking because you're winning the fight. It's about taking the gamble to look good and make more of a statement in a win like this so that you can separate yourself from other prospects.
The key word, statement. I like the way you verbalize that.
Ibraheim Robinson dominated. He's in the black and fur.
Well, Toran's already thinking about April 12th. He brought all his awkwardness to this round. Look how much he's going. He's already thinking, you know what? If I get through this round, I'm going on April 12th.
Yes, of course. And, he's just staying away.
Yeah.
Staying away.
And also that herky-jerky style's back. That one we saw in the first round.
With the first round, yeah.
You can see the finish line.
Yeah, he flicks out the jab. Jab from...
There's a little feint by Robinson. You saw he allowed him to close the distance for a half a step. You see that? That's what I want to see. I'd like to see more feints from Robinson.
And with such long arms. Oh, he felt that. That was a nice left.
Good counter shot again from Robinson. The 2 engaged for one of the few times during this fight. been mostly one-way traffic. Ibraheim Robinson dishing it out on Rommell Toran.
Rommell Toran's left cheekbone is seeing the type of punishment that Ibraheim has been giving him, but yet he keeps going.
Yeah, that's a pretty good left hand there.
Yeah. He's got chutzpah. I like that.
And Toran's actually talking to Robinson.
I wonder what they're saying. Perhaps a date between now and having a chat before his next fight. April 12th, 2025.
Jab from Robinson. 40 seconds to go here in the 6th and final round. Counter right from Robinson.
Counter right from Robinson, but you see no follow-up. You see, you get that counter right hand. You can get a chance to pounce there. Sort of satisfied with the work he's doing.
It's a shame because this is the opportunity he has. He's got an opponent that's still there, standing right in front of him, very little lateral movement, and he could use that right hand to just follow up with a couple of combinations. Let's not go too far. Maybe a 3-punch combination that worked so well in the second round.
And it's an opportunity to follow. Anytime you land a clean shot, which these counters are always clean, it's an opportunity to follow up. Instead, I guess, again, it's a temperament thing.
Yeah, and Toran is not walking in either, so he's standing right in front of him.
And we are through 6 rounds. No doubt who's going to win this fight. Toran is already thinking of April, I believe.
Yeah.
Didn't get stopped.
He's ready for April.
Paulie, what would you grade the performance of Robinson? We were saying some of the things that we pointed out that you liked, and a couple things that you felt he should have improved on.
The kid has a good base. Obviously, 90 amateur fights, you're gonna have to learn how to fight a little bit. So he's got a good base, good athleticism. He's got a good height for the weight class, and he's got some good skills there. I think you gotta think your way better through some fights, though. If you want to have that can't miss moniker on you as a prospect, because let's face it, there's a lot of prospects out there, so you want to separate yourself from the other prospects. You're not going to get the stoppages. You want to have the explosiveness. You want to have the can't miss type of eye, from the fans. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. If you're not going to get a stoppage, you got to at least throw punches. Especially if you got speed, you can dazzle and wow a crowd with some speed and combinations. I think I'd like to see some feints from him as well. Again, because when you have good speed, the feints will offset your opponent even more. Now I was always taught, especially Mark, when you have a good jab, your feints are more effective. He's got a good jab. He's got a very good jab. So he would have his opponent biting on every feint, and then which would open up opportunities for him to throw more punches as well. And of course, like I said, a temperament. I like to see a little bit of a meaner temperament from him instead of being satisfied.
I'm gonna just add, I need sense of urgency.
Yeah.
I need sense of, I want to win this fight.
Yeah.
Decisiveness.
Yeah.
He's got the basic tools. You can build on that.
Yeah. He's got the skills. That temperament has to be, I want to impress.
Well, in a fight that was relatively easy to score, the scorers came back quick. Let's throw up to our ring announcer, Margaret Cresta-Griffin. I think Margaret's ready. We're ready for the decision. Let's show up to Margaret Cresta-Griffin.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 tough rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Nick Clemente, Judge Steve Weisfeld, and Judge Dewey LaRosa all see the belt the same. At 60-54, for your winner by unanimous decision, Ibraheim, the new Hitman Robinson.
There you have it, Ibraheim Robinson, and about that, he dominated, showed it on the scores.
Yep.
He goes to 8-1-1. Toran drops to 2-5-1, and he's ready to fight in April again.
12th. Ready to go. He didn't get stopped. And I think there's some things to work on for both guys. Obviously, some things to satisfied. Robinson, you can be satisfied with the win, and there's some things you can take back into the gym and work on. And for Toran, well,
April
12th.
12th.
Next month, April 12th. You get to
April
improve right
12th.
away.
Hey, you know what? He's active.
Yeah.
He's busy.
Yeah.
You know what? There's something to be said about guys that can keep up with just being busy. And next up, the ladies.
And well, just real quickly, Paulie can attest this. Guys like Toran, who are facing prospects, they're very important in this business because they show different looks and they present.
They are needed for the maturation process of prospects. You got to see them against guys like this on their way up the ladder.
Well, we are ready with our next bout of the evening. Brittany Sims and Wendellin Cruz, and to bring the fighters into the ring, let's throw up to ring announcer Margaret Cresta Griffin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are headed into our next fight of the evening. Making her way into the ring, Wendellin Cruz.
29-year-old Nicaraguan Wendellin Cruz, 6-16-1, 1 knockout. And make her way to the ring here in
A lot of people might not know, but there's a huge boxing culture in Nicaragua. I mean, Alexis Arguello, Mayorga, Chocolatito. I mean, and they come in all
shapes and sizes.
Exactly.
And genders, apparently.
Yes. La Flaca. She's known as La Flaca, the skinny one.
I feel like this song is more for like a different kind of party than a fight song, right?
Well,
this is more slow dance song.
Very, very solemn.
Yeah, and a slow dance. Something you slow dance to.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting to.
Maybe she's just conserving energy.
Yeah.
We're only 2 fights in. We're talking about George Michael and slow dancing, so we're off to a good start here.
Yes, there we go. Different styles.
We're showing our range.
Yes. That's actually like a very
making her way into the ring.
Like Preciosa for Puerto Rico.
Sims.
This is 34-year-old Brittany Sims, has a record of 7-3, 4 knockouts, and she is the #2 bantamweight in the world by the World Boxing Association. So stay busy, yet important fight, and can't slip up here.
Nope. And I love her energy. This is a woman that has done everything. Basketball, track, soccer, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing. And I love her attitude. Ready for challenges. No matter what's coming, she's ready for it.
She's obviously tried a lot of challenges.
Yes.
And the thing
always pushing yourself.
Thing about her, she fought and defeated McKenna Tansley, who was with King's Promotions. Marshall Copeland signed her. She moved to Bethlehem, training with Indio Rodriguez, and being kept busy, now ranked #2. Claudia, take us behind the numbers.
Well, look at the numbers. One thing that we're not saying about La Flaca Cruz is she's only 29 years old. In terms of height, the Nicaraguan has the advantage. But look at the reach, very similar, only 1 inch difference. Now look at the record, 6-16-1. But don't be deceived by that record. That means
experience.
Exactly. Lots of ring experience.
More than twice the pro fights that Sims has.
Exactly.
Well, we are ready to get this fight started. Let's show up the ring announcer, Margaret Cresta Griffin.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is sponsored by DKO Boxing, and it's for 8 rounds in the featherweight division. Your referee in charge of the action is Eric Dolly, and your judges scoring ringside are Steve Weisfeld, Dewey LaRosa, and Nick Commenti. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight she wears yellow and green. She weighed in at 127.4 pounds. Her professional record, 6 victories, 16 defeats, 1 draw, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Managua, Nicaragua, Wendellin, Cruz. Her opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight she wears the red trunks. She weighed in at 126.1 pounds. Her professional record, 7 victories, 3 defeats, with 4 wins coming by way of knockouts. Fighting out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Brittany Sims.
Okay, ladies, you already know the rules. Let me remind you to keep it clean, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both.
Brittany Sims, 7-3, 4 knockout. She's in the red trunks. Wendellin Cruz, 6-16-1, 1 knockout. She's in the yellow. Mark Abrams, Paulie Malignaggi, Claudia Trejos here at the Wind Creek Event Center in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We are underway.
Brittany Speed, not wasting any time with that. Nice.
Brittany coming out, lands a big right hand and drives Cruz back to the corner.
And she looks relentless. And we're only, 20 seconds?
Yeah, she's getting
These are
down.
2-minute rounds, let's not forget. So there is a sense of urgency.
A little bit of Tyson-esque crotch position,
Bobbing and
right?
weaving a hard right hand and a left.
She's out.
And Cruz is hurt in the corner.
Cruz is out. She was
And
out.
That's a
It's
slip.
actually called a slip.
I don't know. That was
see.
not a slip.
Let's see if Sims
But she's
remains
hurt.
in
This
the-
fight is over.
Yeah.
This fight is over. Cruz looking at referee Eric Dolly like, what? But this fight is over. I mean, body language-wise, she really didn't look like after she went down that she really wanted
That
to
was
fight.
not a slip, Mark.
Yeah.
That was not a slip.
Rolled
What
a
did you
slip.
see?
Rolled a slip. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to last that much longer
Yeah.
anyway. Sims had a good skill at closing the distance very, very well. And Cruz really had no answer for that. You saw that 1-2 there. She closed that
Yeah.
gap.
She was
Also,
out.
Good head, good little.
Did you see that uppercut?
Yeah.
Right
And also
into
the
her
way
chin.
she set it up off the pivot, nice. Just changed the angle so she could create space for the uppercut, so she wasn't getting close. Otherwise, she would have smothered herself. Very nice moves. Very nice punch selection from Sims in a short fight.
I mean, it looked like kind of a throwdown, but she had no balance, from the punishment that she took a few minutes earlier, a few seconds earlier. But Paulie,
And with 2-minute rounds, it's not easy to get stoppages. So that's another thing to keep in mind with Sims. She was aggressive. She got on the ball right away, put the punches together in numbers, and like I said, even changed the angles when she needed to create space and land those clean punches.
you're ranked number 2, Claudia. She's ranked number 2. The champion Johnson's going to rematch the number 1 fighter Hughes. That's the way to go into a title fight.
So I suggest for Robinson to take note. This is how you walk in to an outstanding opportunity to showcase your skills and obviously position yourself in an advantage.
Yeah.
Because obviously when we're
Make
looking
a
at the
statement win.
yes,
Make a statement.
and when you're looking at just going up the ranks and looking for a title, this is the kind of win that we're looking for.
It's almost like she's grabbing it.
Yes.
Grabbing it. So Brittany Sims keeps her ranking, and she's going to have an eye on Australia. I think the rematch is going to be in about 10 days between Tramika Johnson and Nina Hughes. I think that was the fight where they announced the wrong winner in the ring.
Yes.
Yeah, though it always gets awkward when you do that, you know?
And that's exactly who she's looking for. That if we were to get an opportunity to speak to her, that's what she would call out, Nina Hughes.
So Brittany Sims will go to 8-3, 5 knockouts. And we will get the time of the stoppage. Let's throw up to ring announcer Margaret Cresta Griffin.
She doesn't have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 42 seconds into round number 1, we have your winner by TKO, Brittany Sims.
So there you have it. Brittany Sims. Those 8-3-5 knockouts. We'll fight the winner between Johnson and Hughes coming up. See her manager, Dave Dubinsky, DKO manager, just signed with that management outfit. Dave and Jim Kurtz. I would ask you, like the last fight, to grade Sims, but you can't give her anything but an A+ for this one, right?
I would say.
It wasn't much in front of her, but she did what she had to do in front of her.
Hey, they don't pay per round.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So I believe Margaret is going to talk to Brittany.
All right. I'm here with Brittany Sims. Thank you so much. You did a wonderful job here tonight in the ring. We're so proud. 42 seconds into round number 1. I mean, was that something you were planning on doing here tonight, or were you patient for that knockout? What was going through your mind?
Well, my opponent is really tough, so we knew that we were prepared for 8, but I was ready for whatever to happen, you know. And I don't just say that just to say that. I say that because we put the hard work in the gym, you know, every day going to gym after work. And I also want to give out a shout out to my Aldi, yeah, there they are, my Aldi coworkers, because they really supported me when I was at work, and you know, they saw I was tired and they kept giving me that support. But to answer your question, no, I wasn't prepared for those for a short round, but we were prepared for 8.
Oh my gosh, well, it was an impressive finish here tonight. Tell us, what should we expect from you for your next fight? I mean, you're ready to go. Are you going to take a fight pretty soon? I mean, I'm sure everyone here would want to see you again.
Thank you. No, well, we're just gonna, my team and I, we're gonna sit down with my manager, Dave Dubinsky from DKO Bosky, and we're gonna kind of figure out our next moves and go from there.
Love it. Well, tell your fans one more time how happy you're here to have them. We are so excited.
Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for your support for me. I want to say thank you to Indios Boxing Gym, my parents who came from Oregon all the way to see me. I want to thank my promotion, King's Promotion, and also my sponsor, Fashion Trap, and then lastly but not least, my I'm sorry, my manager, Dave Dubinsky, and of course my coworkers.
Amazing. Brittany Sims, everyone. Congratulations.
There you have it, Brittany Sims.
She didn't call out anybody. She's being respectful.
She was enjoying her moment. She wasn't going to let anybody, steal her thunder by naming them.
So that's our two prelim bouts here on the social media networks. Mark Abrams, Paulie Malignaggi, Claudia Trejo. So two drastically different fights in our two fights. We had Robinson, the patient one, and we had Sims, the aggressive one.
Yeah, I think two different approaches to both people, right? I mean, Robinson, patient, great skills. You'd like to see him start to develop a bit more urgency to his style if he's in with somebody who's overmatched. Sims on the other side, she saw that somebody was overmatched, didn't want to deal with it, like you said, Claudia, she doesn't get paid for overtime, so she went for the kill right away, and I think had a more impressive performance. Not that Robinson is incapable of impressing, I think he's got skills, but you can see that if he could develop some of that urgency behind the skill set, it maybe could be something to deal with, because he is a 6'1" welterweight with some good hand speed and some good reflexes. Sims, possibly a title shot, right?
Yes, and I guess now we'll be looking forward to that fight. I believe it's next week between Johnson and Hughes in Australia. That is a little bit extra meaning now for the girl who now resides in Bethlehem.
I gotta tell you, that should motivate her to keep going because she looked really, really good. She didn't leave anything to chance. And obviously, those combinations were nice and sharp. And I got to say something about Robinson. He's got all the tools. And if he could just put a little bit of sense of urgency and be able to feel more comfortable allowing fighters to come in. I know that the opponent in this case was a little awkward. Maybe his timing was not up to par. The fact that he was out of competition for a long time, there was a little bit of ring
shake
rust.
off the rust.
Exactly. I want to see him back in no less than 2 months.
And I know we all like our food.
Well, Toran will be back.
Yeah, we know
April.
we know where Toran's going to be. We all like our foods. That was a little appetizer for what's coming on
Exactly.
at 8 o'clock. Yuri Cedeno and Ulises Tovar is our main event.
Yeah, Cedeno, one of those can't miss prospects. You know, one of those guys with a lot of amateur experience. Obviously, you see the Olympic rings tattooed on his neck. He's one of those guys who, when you watch him, you start to wonder not if he'll go far, but how far can this kid go? And obviously, Tovar, 11-1 record. You know, he's no slouch himself. Man of not many words. You know, like you said, Mark, when we asked him about what makes him different than everybody else, he just said he hasn't fought somebody like me. I guess we're going to figure out what that means inside the ring.
And our co-feature, Claudia, Bryce Mills, and Alex Martin, a true
Very
crossroads fight.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what Bryce Mills brings. This is, in his own words, the most important fight of his career. We already know that Alex Martin has been in the big stage, in the big fights. We already know what kind of stuff he's made of. Now it's Mills who wants to showcase because he wants to go into the upper echelon of boxing. Tonight is the pièce de résistance for young Mills.
So, like we said, we have a little bit of everything. We talked about Cedeno.
Huh?
Is that French?
Yes.
We talked about Cedeno, the can't-miss prospect. Mills, the guy who might be a prospect. A guy who was there, who's been on the big stage, Joseph Adorno, looking to get back to those lofty heights.
You know, Adorno is a guy who has those physical tools, but his mentality sometimes has been something that betrays him. We talk about a guy who's not busy in the ring and Robinson. Well, Adorno sometimes has been betrayed that way as well. Big puncher, explosive fighter. At his best, you look at this kid and you're going to say, wow, this kid can go far. But then some nights you watch him and you're like, where'd they go find this kid? I don't know, it's like I've never seen him before. So you need a consistent Joe Adorno. Tonight we're going to find out what we get.
Also, we have Julian Gonzalez, who's fought well, Claudia, on the big stage. He's been on national television before, still undefeated, looking to make his mark in the 130-pound division.
And that's one of the deepest, most expansive divisions. And when you already have 73% of your victories coming by way of knockout, this is the guy that I suggest for nobody to actually blink, because this could go fast. But let's not forget the kind of fighting spirit that somebody like Armando Frausto brings. He has a lot to win, nothing to lose, and those are the most dangerous opponents.
And we're opening up with a girl who's 4-0. I think I've seen all four of her fights. A can't-miss prospect in the lower weight divisions at Shira May Patricio.
Yeah, 4-0, a good way to start your career. And you know, in the women's divisions, it's not that long before you get a title fight. So you start to impress a couple of people. You don't need a title fight in less than 10 fights. So we'll see how she looks tonight.
But you want me to impress you a little bit more? She is the eldest of 8 siblings. They all fight. The dad is the trainer. And she started because she wanted to get into self-defense, but she decided to beat everybody up. So that's why she's here.
That's one of the things you run into, one of the problems you run into.
Can you imagine when their parents yell, it's time for dinner, they're all running for the table?
Oh, I know that feeling. I've been there, done that.
So there you have it. That's 5 big fights, 8 p.m. Eastern time, live on the Zone. Mark, Paulie, and Claudia will all be back for those 5 big fights. You want to put a cap on our 2 prelims?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. A tale of 2 different prospects. You see Robinson, sharp. I want to see more aggression from him. Sims, aggression. I want to see more of her in general because I didn't see enough of her tonight. The fight lasted too short.
Agreed. I like them both. I see a lot of possibilities, especially with Sims. I like that energy that she brings to the ring. And, you know, supporting women is what I do best. So I'm glad to see her go.
That's 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be right back here at the top of the hour. The Zone, we will see you then at 8 p.m. Eastern time.